The setup right now, of course, my T4 33mm set to ISO 800-8, as you can read. Also, and more importantly, we've got the Colbor CL100 at 50%, 5600 Kelvin with my Celens 65cm softbox. This is a very familiar setup for many of you to the channel, and it's worked, I think, very well for me for some time now. But I've got something from Feelworld, as you can tell by the title, that I think might either replace it or be another option. The light especially, the softbox might not fit so well in the space, but I've got it for another space, and maybe the tabletop stuff as well. I've been using the Viltrox Wii Light for that, and that is very good, but I want something bigger. Yeah, let's switch over and see how it fares. Here we are then. That was fun. I've had to drop the ISO to 200. I managed to get the thing to fit in. It is obviously a lot bigger and it's rectangular. So how's it faring? Looking on my screen here, things seem to be absolutely fine. Maybe even softer. Clearly that power is making a big difference as well. I'm not hearing a fat lot. Alas, outside there's quite a bit of, let's call it, weather, which is a bit annoying, but I think my mic and spot of voice isolation will get rid of that. I think everything is otherwise pretty normal. I mean, the light seems okay. This is obviously a first test, and I'm only looking on this screen now. I have looked at the Colbor test, but I've done that many times. Now I'm going to look at this test, see how this test fares. Again, you can see the stats on the screen. The only thing I've changed is the, well, obviously, the FSR, is it? I keep forgetting the name of it. FSR90 Softbox, rectangular and bigger. More power coming out of that light. Yeah, but I have still set it to 50%, just, you know, to have some kind of science. Yeah, so the ISO 200, never a bad thing to put the ISO down for what I do, so I'm happy with that. This could be a fun one. I'm not sure I'm going to leave it in this space because it's not the biggest room, and I might have it set up in my plan B studio place. Yeah, but I think the tabletop stuff is what I want to do with it. Anyway, let's have a look at the actual main unit itself. Let me just say the softbox comes in a very nice bag, is extremely easy to set up. You just turn it upside down if you really want to. You don't have to, but it's easier. And then just put the pins in and that's it. And then afterwards clip them, squish it down, wrap it up, and you're away. You don't need to see me do that. It's simple enough. And as I said, there's a lot of weather, so I can't really take it outside where there's a lot more space to show you. Anyway, it's very easy. Let's have a look at the real bit of fun next. We're greeted with a nice big logo. As you know, I'm a huge fan, not, but you know, it is what it is. Big grab handle there. It only weighs 1.53 kilos, which explains, you know, the absolute plastic nature of it, but it should be fine for my purposes. On this side, we do have this sort of adjustment for the 180 degrees. So far, it's fine. It's doing a decent job. I'm not too fussed about that. It's nice and big, especially, you know, you can really get your hand on it in a rush. Of course, it's a Bowens mount, so if we just pull back the little notch there, we can take the protective cover on, and then, as we've already done, put the softbox on there. That's absolutely fine. Let's just pop that back on for the time being, and that little latch will go back in, but when you need it, you just pull it. At the back then, we've got a 2-inch LCD screen. We've got these two knobs here, which you can press to access other functions. We'll do that in just a moment. Brightness, frequency, Bluetooth, reset. Of course, you've got the app that you can use to control it. We've got the power here, which you get all that you need. I've got another set of lights to try out, but didn't come with the right power lead, so that's been a problem. So that's simple, plug in and good to go. And we get this greeting here. We've got the intensity there, as you can see it taking effect on the backdrop. If I press it, we can adjust from top of 6500 down to 2700, and that's in 200 steps, as you can see. So let's put it on something warm for a change. Now frequency, that's where you can start to access your modes: paparazzi, fireworks, lightning, all this stuff that personally I don't need, but you might be into. Although it's fairly obvious, it's good to mention that this bit here is quite solid and fits in nice and tight. So you can just loosen, slip it over. It is, you know, a very precise fit, but hold it in place and you're good to go. And as we said, the handle on that side is not too bad. It does have indentations to help you if need be. I think some prefer the dial that we saw on the Wii lights, for example. I'm okay, I can cope with that, but yeah, I mean, overall, it is quite a plasticky unit. Didn't take me long at all to get this app on the go. It's not the best app in the world looks wise, but as you can see, we can get into the menu there. We can adjust the color temperature easy enough, and it responds quickly, very quickly. In fact, I mean, I am right next to it. You can bang the brightness right up, mess up my exposure a bit, and you've got a few levels there. Lighting effects, as we said, you can access them much easier this way, and they've got all their different settings. Let's get rid of that because I'm not into that. Quick adjust too, so you can rock up and down on that. That's basically it. Now I'm not seeing any setting to turn the fan off. It does have a set of fans on the top, but yeah, that's nice and simple anyway. If you need to, it's easy to connect over Bluetooth. Yeah, not bad. I've had some time to review the footage and the other tests that I've done that'll appear in future product videos, and yeah, I think it's a very worthy setup. I am toying with the idea of using the light as my main light, but I really prefer the effect of this Lenses softbox for this particular scene that is in this space. Maybe I'll just leave the cold bore and the Lenses in place, as it gives me plenty of power for this shot and a look that I think is absolutely fine, and then use this new Feelworld combo for my up close tabletop stuff, product shots, plan B studio talking head setup. I think that will be the best plan. I do have another light, as I said, which might have something to say about that, but as it stands, that's the idea. At least in the other space I can test out different setups easier. It's definitely a nice setup as it is, especially if you don't need to use it in any particularly harsh out and about settings where the plastic might eventually get damaged if you're a bit heavy-handed with these things. At the distances I'm using it, the fan noise isn't an issue, but it would be cool if you could switch it off occasionally, you know. The overall package, very good. You get this really nice carry case with everything you need, albeit the instructions are a little bit sparse. At around £297 on face value, this is a decent kit. The softbox is also a winner. Again, a really good case, easy to set up. You get the diffusion filters. It's easy to put up, put away, works a treat, very good. It's going for about £130, which I think is a decent price for what it is. Now, have you used this combo or anything similar? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next week.